Let's meditate. I'm testing, like touching my chest without touching, and touching slowly, delicate. Take the hands off and back on. Everybody's experience will be different, but in my case, there's a vivid difference of my connection to the body, because this touch initiate, and it could be different location on the arm, just the finger touch, and left hand to the right hand, and thigh, and just back to sitting without movement of or touching with fingers. So one way to deal with boredom, if there is such a thing, or if you cannot but play with mind instead of no mind, no thinking, you might just test out for the heck of it. When I was meditating, first time, 25 years ago, I didn't do such thing like that. I just behaved like being told. But even at the time, I noticed, maybe it's in the document I'm going through now, maybe it may hit there, I don't know. But the memory is that when I shift or twist my spine, even few millimeters or less, and stop doing it, there's a vivid difference of almost like waking up instead of getting dull, of sitting long time, And similarly, this touching thing on the chest, I did it maybe a few weeks ago or more, and I think there's a video about anchoring to the root of who we are, which is basically the same as mind and body become one instead of division, the barrier in between. So when you touch the chest or arm or finger, instead of inner body sensation, this touch feeling produces the accentuating feeling. Obviously that's natural because we are alive, but that attention without mind, no ego, can facilitate us to be in samadhi with no mind and no self. I also mentioned that in some videos, when you get dull or tired, and your thought comes and stay around, monkey mind, then accentuate your breathing. Maybe deeper, a few times. So that the oxygen gets into your lung and accentuate the cells to know. Not the mind to tell them how to know, how to feel. Each cell has its own sensory mechanism, and they like to function. It's like a quantum mechanics. You pay attention to it, they respond. Or touching, and they respond. But attention and respond is what we do in vipassana and anapana. So you can call it the cheating, but it can be said that this is part of your knowing yourself. As if give a, how do you call it, kick, little kick to keep on working, paying attention. As Daisetz said, monotony may be important. That's the opportunity to know what's going on. And I just say one more thing, at least trying to say just one. When the samurai fight in the duel, for example, I can think of Musashi, Miyamoto Musashi. He had 36 duels or something and won all. I think he wrote a book called The Five Rings or something like that. My view is that he's purely like animal, intuition. So the mind stops, but assess the situation as it is in that moment, in each moment, to take action when someone is not in such a state, but the mind is moving, it shows up in the movement of sword. And that's the experience I had with Aikido, because I didn't do Kendo, swordmanship. But Aikido the same, I could feel. There's an exercise, interesting one. We just sit face to face on the ground, no chair. And I think the way we did is to put my hands on his shoulder and possibly his hands on my shoulder. I don't remember exactly. And while we are sitting, I put my attention to my whole body and the hand touching his shoulder, and I could flip him. Unbelievable. Or you can just push him down without effort. I think by that time I had Aikido. That was maybe 3 years after I had the awakening experience. So I was pretty good to pick up all the skills. And I still remember when I was playing with this instructor, I could pin him on the wall. Just the movement without effort. It's kind of like dancing. And they get fooled, basically. That I have, there's also an exercise called, what's the name of that one? I think there's a special word for that. It's the exercise of letting someone to hold my hand, and the hand, oh, that's right. No, unbending hand or something like that. The arm or the hand doesn't bend. So I stretch out my hand and have my attention to the point of the finger and ahead. And this other guy trying to bend my hand, and it doesn't work. And what's amazing is I'm not resisting, I'm just getting this key energy straight up. So the arm become like a metal as an analogy. So this opponent cannot do anything about it, to bend. So that's the key energy. Coming from the root of who we are, our heart. In the sense of not the specific location of heart, but the state of being, absolute state of being with no mind, no self, just be. So I believe, my intuition says, Musashi, samurai, did study that, not Aikido, but in actual Doro. He did even fight with 20, 30 opponents in one shot in Kyoto. Yoshioka is the crown, and they got upset and chased him, and Musashi went into the rice paddies where there are narrow passages. Therefore, he had advantage of dealing with the guy one at a time, and he won. So, maybe I said a lot, but this key energy, the life energy, so to speak, that we can access from the root, is there. It's up to us how to use it. And this meditation exercise we're going through now may cultivate such a skill. But you don't think about it, that you're doing it for whatever reason. You just do it. So from outside you may be seen like an idiot, but that doesn't matter. And as someone said, what's the word? Ignorance is bliss. No mind, it's bliss. We can switch back and forth using mind and not using mind. Joshu, Zen monk, got enlightened, meeting Nanzen, there's a koan. And his saying there is that even with that enlightenment, it took 30 years to get things straightened out. And his also famous saying is, people are used by the time, and I use time. How to use mind, brain. He mastered it. Everybody is different in the way, hurdles, how to overcome. But the principle may be same. Dedication, determination, faith, be sincere and truthful, and connect to your heart. Thank you for joining me. Actually, I had the trouble with computer again and iPhone and the storage and some difficulties. It is what it is. And just talking for the last 20 minutes and meditating, maybe half and half, I don't know, maybe combined. You have no idea. I'm happy to be helped doing this. I'm not doing it. You're helping. Oh, the universe is helping me to remind me what's the way of the universe, nature, and how the connecting to our heart may help us to live. Thank you. Hope to see you again.